Have you ever noticed how some people can turn the most normal moment of the day into a full movie scene inside their own head? Not just overthinking, not just random daydreaming. I mean the kind where you're literally buttering toast, and somehow your brain has already cast three characters, chosen the lighting, and written an emotional reunion scene that has absolutely no business happening at 7:14 in the morning. One second you're in your kitchen, the next you're mentally bumping into someone from your past in the cereal aisle of a supermarket. Of course, in this version, you look incredible. For some reason, your hair is behaving. You're holding exactly the kind of book that suggests growth. No one knows why there's a book in a supermarket, but your brain has decided this is symbolic. They see you. There's that dramatic pause, and suddenly the whole scene starts rolling. They look slightly stunned, a little regretful. This is already going suspiciously well. Meanwhile, in real life, your toast is now fully crossed into criminal levels of burnt. And honestly, that's kind of what it's like to be this person. Your body stays in one room. Your mind quietly leaves it. And here's the weird part. It always happens in the most boring moments. In the shower, driving home, brushing your teeth, standing in front of the microwave countdown like it personally owes you closure. And somehow, these are the exact moments your brain decides to produce a full emotional director's cut, which is exactly where our story starts. But here's the strange part. It's almost never really about the person in the scene. And that's what makes this so much more interesting than simple overthinking. Because if you really pay attention, your mind rarely replays random moments. It keeps returning to very specific feelings. The moments where something felt unfinished. A sentence you never said. A reaction you never got. A look someone gave you that somehow stayed with you far longer than it had any right to. And this is where the day really begins. It's later that afternoon. You're driving home. Nothing special. Traffic, a red light, a song comes on, and somehow, within seconds, your brain has already reopened that one conversation from work 3 weeks ago. At the time, you smiled, nodded, played it cool. Now, however, you are mentally delivering the most articulate response ever spoken by a human being. Perfect timing. Perfect tone. Just enough emotional weight to make everyone in the imaginary room go quiet. In your head, even the one colleague who never listens is suddenly deeply reflective. Very unrealistic, but nice. And that's when it happens. The light turns green, a car behind you honks, and you realize you've just been sitting there, mentally winning an argument that ended a month ago. This is the weirdness of it. Your body stays in the present, your mind quietly travels, and somehow it always chooses the most boring moments to do it. Standing in line at the supermarket, washing dishes, folding laundry, brushing your teeth, especially brushing your teeth. For some reason, your brain absolutely loves emotional breakthroughs while mint foam is running down your chin. But this isn't even why the brain keeps doing it. Because after a while, it stops being about replaying moments. It becomes about rewriting them. This time, you say the thing. This time, they understand. This time, the scene ends the way it should have. And honestly, that's where it starts becoming weirdly comforting. Because inside your head, life behaves better. People listen. Timing is perfect. No one interrupts halfway through your sentence. No one responds with, okay? Inside your mind, moments get endings. Real life is famously terrible at endings. So naturally, your brain starts preferring the place where things make sense. And this is one of the most fascinating parts psychologically. At some point, the mind slowly learns that this place gives relief. Not fake relief, real emotional relief. The kind reality didn't give you. Understanding, closure, a sense that the moment finally landed. And once the brain learns that inner scenarios soothe discomfort, it starts returning there automatically. Stress, back into the scene. Loneliness, back into the future conversation. Regret, back into the imaginary apology. This is not weakness. This is your brain following relief. And maybe that's why it can become strangely addictive, because the inner world starts feeling more emotionally rewarding than the real one. Fast forward to the evening. You're in the shower. This is where the mind becomes completely unreasonable. You are no longer washing your hair. You are now delivering what can only be described as the emotional speech of the century. The thing you should have said 3 years ago. The thing you thought of 4 hours too late. And in this version, it lands perfectly. They pause. They look at you. For the first time, they finally get it. And maybe that's why this kind of mind keeps returning here. Not because the scenes are fake, because the feelings inside them are very real. Being understood, being chosen, being seen. That's why the faces change. But the ache stays exactly the same. Different people, same emotional need. But what if it was never about the conversation at all? What if the brain keeps returning there because something in you still feels emotionally unfinished? Maybe real life moved on too fast. Maybe the moment ended before you were ready. Maybe you never got closure. So the mind quietly builds a second chance. A room where you can still say the thing. A version of reality where you get another take, sometimes another 10. At this point, it's less a memory and more a private series with recurring episodes. And maybe this started much earlier than people realize. Sometimes this habit isn't about the present moment at all. Sometimes it began years ago, a time when real life didn't feel emotionally safe, a time when saying how you really felt was messy, risky, uncomfortable, so your mind quietly built a safer room, a place where things can be retried, where people finally listen, where you finally get to exist as the version of yourself that froze back then. And sometimes there's even that strange little moment afterward, the one where you catch yourself coming back from another scenario and think, wait, how long was I just gone? A few seconds, a few minutes, sometimes longer. That tiny moment of awareness can almost feel embarrassing, like life kept moving while your mind quietly disappeared. And sometimes that discomfort sends you right back in, because inside the scene, things make sense again. And maybe the strangest part is how normal it starts to feel. At some point, you stop even noticing when your mind leaves the room. You're walking home. Someone passes you. A song plays from a car window. And suddenly your brain has already built an entire future moment around it. A conversation that might happen next week. A reunion that will probably never happen. A version of tomorrow where you finally say the thing you've been rehearsing for months. And for a moment, it almost feels more real than the street you're actually standing on. That's when it quietly shifts from imagination into habit. Not because you want to escape life, sometimes because your mind has learned that this is where things finally make sense, where feelings get somewhere to land, where uncertainty gets edited into closure. And honestly, that's what keeps pulling you back. Not the people, not even the scenes, the feeling of finally arriving somewhere emotionally. And maybe that's the strange truth underneath all of this. This was never really about fake scenarios. It was about all the moments life left slightly open. The apology you never got, the sentence you never said, the version of yourself that never got the chance to show up. So maybe the real question isn't why your brain keeps replaying the same scenes. Maybe it's why some part of you still needs them to end differently. And if we're being honest, you already know exactly which scene keeps coming back. The one with suspiciously cinematic lighting, the one where you finally say the thing, the one where everything makes sense. So, why that one?